Hi guys, we are out here at Atlantic Beach Country Club at the Hughes residence. This is a residence we started, I believe last year. It was a two-phase project like we do a lot of times when we have pools involved. Just to let you know, those can kind of go a little longer term because we do break it down usually in 2 phases. So the front yard is where we started first. We waited for the pool to get installed and then we finished up in the backyard. Really nice couple. They're not here a lot of times, they travel a lot. So want to do very low maintenance. Also they have our maintenance package, which helps with those people that aren't going to be around to watch things growing and take care of weeds and such. So we really strongly recommend our maintenance program if you aren't going to be at your house or you travel a lot and you're not going to be here during the summer months. So they are a maintenance client as well. But this is the front yard total transformation. The original design had some hardwood trees, some crepe myrtles. We went with a tropical look, so we incorporated some Sylvester palms, some Robolini palms, your fountain grasses. She really loves pink, so it had to be pink. So we have some pink penta, pink knockout roses, but all low maintenance. That was the whole goal here. The original design, believe it or not, we didn't have any sod. It was all landscaped with a dry river in the middle, but certain HOAs do require have certain restrictions. This one required we had a certain percentage of Bermuda grass, hence the Bermuda grass. So again, you can't always do what you want. Sometimes with the HOAs you have to kind of adjust your design accordingly for certain HOA restrictions. So again, originally we had a dry riverbed kind of coming through this main section. We kind of just changed that up a little bit, and rather than do a dry riverbed, we did a river of pink penta. So it kind of repeated that pattern, kind of flowing through the landscape, which I think ended up turning out really nice. We kind of flanked that with some foxtail fern, a very durable plant here in Florida. And then the great fountain grasses. Now with the fountain grasses, you'll see them nice and full this time of year. You do want to trim those. So a lot of times in the winter, you'll see them kind of hacked down. Don't be afraid of that. It is actually the thing you do with fountain grasses, but this is usually a time where you don't really mess with them a whole lot. A little bit of cleanup, pulling a little bit of the branches around the outside, but that's about it for those. And then of course the little pink roses that we added in here for a little bit more pink color. We did use some Florida natives, the Kuntis, and they are still growing in a little bit. And then we also have some cardboard palms in this scheme as well that are a really tough, durable plant. They're in the cycad family, just like the Kuntis, not to be mistaken with a sago palm. I am not a fan of sago palms. I know a lot of y'all out there like sagos. They are very pokey and they have bug problems. We will incorporate that into the design if you want, but just per Patti, sago palms, no. All right guys, back here in the backyard of the Hughes residence, the main goal back here was we wanted to put a little bit of edible garden stuff. So we've got a lemon and a lime here. That was our start to this backyard transition. But the big piece I want you guys to see are these Japanese blueberries. It's a fantastic hedge. They actually wanted viburnum plus the blueberries here, but that was gonna be too tight comparatively to the pool that they had installed. But the blueberries do a fantastic job of giving you that instant hedge. It's a great plant, it's evergreen. It just makes that nice backdrop here to give you privacy almost instantaneously. Then they wanted a little bit more color, so again we incorporated some of those roses again. The roses are great, they give you summer color all summer long. You do have to deadhead them, which it's just part of the job with roses, but they're a fantastic way to add summer color. And then of course our Florida native Kuntis behind it. This is the brand new pool that they had installed. Beautiful travertine pool. Again, this is one where it was done in phases. So the front yard was first, the pool was second, then the landscaping around that third. Something to always consider when you're having a pool installed is that the people that are doing your pool read your landscape plan as well. Something that we had a little bit of difficulty with, or you can see those blue potted plants right there. Those are bougainvilleas. Now in each of those is a drip line for irrigation, so you don't have to worry about watering them. And that was a concern because they're not here a lot of times, so we need to have it set up on our irrigation system. But one thing that they didn't show, well, I don't know that the pool guys didn't look at it, but we had to actually take up travertine to reinstall the irrigation in there after the pool guys came in. So if this is something that you want, where you want potted plants with irrigation drip lines, Make sure your pool guys, before they install travertine pavers, whatever you're going to have installed, that they look at that and take that into consideration, that you may have areas where you don't want to glue down or put down those pavers yet until that irrigation gets set up properly, because it will be an additional cost for you to take those up and put that new irrigation in there. So again, work with your pool guys. We're willing to work with them as well to make sure that we have a seamless transition from the design in those phases. This area here along the fence line, we wanted to keep it fairly short, so we used the dwarf oleanders. They're a fantastic plant. I know a lot of people with oleanders get concerned about the oleander worms. Typically they hit the bigger versions a little bit more. I have not seen them hitting the dwarfs at all, but we wanted to keep this really short so you can still see the beautiful view of the golf course. So we wanted just color, but along the back side. And then this area right here, we want that same kind of screen. And believe it or not, these were all transplanted. So another thing we like to do in our designs is try to reincorporate some of the plants that we actually remove from your design, to try to use them in different spaces. Can't always do that, but this was a perfect one because they were already established podocarpus. They were a great size. So we took those from the side of the house, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. We didn't need to really block a whole lot there. So it really gives, again, an instant screen here. Some plants do transplant better than others. During the fall and spring, it's a little easier because it's a little bit cooler temperatures, but these took really, really well because they did have the good irrigation system installed. So these are all getting irrigated during these summer months, so it's really, really hot. But it was like an instant screen. Again, if I can transplant something that we can reutilize, it makes a whole lot of sense. And again, sometimes there will be plants that we can't. So here we added some new podocarpus. Again, we have the existing ones that we transplanted. So the whole idea is to get these the same height as those eventually. It'll take some time, but that was the whole idea, is for privacy over here. If you look behind you, this area right here, I know it's kind of empty right now, but the reason being is that we are going to do vegetable beds here. Again, we talked about coming back to the backyard with the edible garden. So they're going to put a bunch of different vegetable beds in here. We actually cleaned up the pool equipment by adding Colorado River Jack and black metal edging. Keep this area nice and clean. But believe it or not, this is the space where those podocarpus came from. And it was really kind of blocking these AC units, but you really don't need it. You've got a wall, so there's really no need for plant material. So rather than have it taking up, the space over here to walk through here was very narrow. And by removing those podocarpus, now we have this nice big walkway to walk back here through. So again, if we can reutilize some of your plant material for better purposes, we're going to go ahead and do that. But it worked out really well for this. Again, it's so much better access to get through here to their path up front. All right, guys, so this is Patti Sanders out here at the Hughes residence in Atlantic Beach Country Club. If you're interested in anything you see today, landscaping, we do paver work as well, irrigation, lighting, hit me up at the garden center or online. Have a great day.